Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to our power Yahweh, Washem Yahushai, Washem HaKadosh. Call Halalim Yahweh, Washem Yahushai, Washem HaKadosh. As in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahushai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible. Who the world ignorantly call God or Jehovah. And his son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give the honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to all the brothers and out here pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. To all that believe in this gospel. Shalom. Alright, this lesson also entitled it, Who Will Be Your Defense? And I walk and talk through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Because there is a lot of talk about the sedition, right, which is indeed coming when Jesus going to rise up. I'm going to just get this real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, we start at 14. It says, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction right nigh. Hey, as me read that precept, I'm going to just get this one real quick. I said the sword and their destruction right nigh. Right? Because destruction is coming. Well, the end of the world as you know it, is coming. God, precept left me. Oh yeah. Revelation 12 and 12. Revelation 12 verse 12 says, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So the devil, so-called white race that is going to come down onto the people, me and the Israelites, with a heavy hammer, But people, right, going basically squeezing our corner, like these Crown Royal measures we're implementing right now, to the point where them going to start some protests going to turn into riots, and eventually there will be martial law, right now we're in the soft martial law, but it's going to get worse, right? And Jake said, there's going to be a revolution, but in the time of that revolution, for example, the funds that you get, right, for buy your armor, all of the guns them you get and so forth was made by the enemy, so well go on. Right, you remember the movie think of the first purge, when them try to fight against Esau, couple Jake. I'm saying Jake, I'm referring to the Israelites, you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, Latinos. Them find out how really I go on, so there was mercenaries coming in the community and sparking the whole thing, And them the gangster them and drugs like them basically team up. Well, not team up, there was one set of them really. And I try to fight against Easter, but there was just one drone Easter assassin and kill off the whole of them. Like just one attack, one little drone. So who will be your defense here? Because when you pre the technology what Esau have, so-called white race, with the most I give Esau that, how you going to defend yourself against him? How you can store food for years if there's a siege, right? So when I go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15, it says, For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men. So you're going to have man basically talk against the state until they go physical, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So there's going to be a civil unrest, in many states. There's going to be worldwide chaos, right? You're going to have a lot of people rebelling against the state, But at the end of the day, when you rebel, who going to feed you? Who going to be a defense when the enemy come back at you? That's the question, because you cannot defend yourself and it's evident. Look for example Tivoli. Tivoli Garden was one of the, if not the most heavily harmed and defense community in Jamaica is a so-called criminal community, a ghetto, you know. And when the state really came against them, you know, with help from the US, you know, some reports say, right, them fall. So who will be your defense if you're not even as strong as Tivoli? You know? When you take to the streets, demand justice. There will be none. Right? Morning. 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. They're going to be barricaded. They're going to be, like right now in Jamaica, there's curfew. Certainly, before when this thing, this mysterious thing, you can't call it name, this worldwide thing came on the scene. You know, they were quarantine communities, nobody in, nobody out. You know, even parish, them locked down one time. You know, man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You know, right? Because you don't know power of what you have to do. What kind of military equipment or heavy armor you have to defend yourself? You know, right? Or go against tyranny. Because right now in Jamaica, a big nose on fucking tyrant. You know, for the so-called white man. Puppet, really. It says, verse 18, it says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yes, so when this take place, you know, the riots them start, you're going to have this now, the state going to react, because it's clear that them have pushed the people, you know, for rebel. But Jake right now, yo, Jake rocked. Asleep, yo, foul up. Cuddly. You know? Right, no matter what them poke Jake, yo, Jake just right. This is 2 Ezra 16, verse let me see. Star 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things according to idols. Like right now, you know, certain countries, certain areas, certain states, you know, certain businesses are basically implement force inoculation, you know, right? Things according to idols. Ultimately, them going to give you the chip, the mark, MOTB. You can't even really call it name either. You know, the mark of the creature, you know, which is the microchip, the implantable microchip that's coming next, you know, right? They're going to offer you and they're going to put you in a situation where it's either that, you know, or you suffer loss of job, suffer loss of income basically if you lose a job, suffer loss of transactions. Yeah, she said no man might buy or sell CV that on the mark. You know, so who going to feed you in those days? Where you going to get food from? You know, when you basically rebel against the state, it's a question to ask. Because people love talk about, yeah, they're going to be uprising. People are not going to put up with this. You know, and Jake said, them say, oh, me not at this and me not at that. Okay, fine. You know, but when you take it, are you prepared for the consequences there of who going to be your defense? Since you're basically in the know the Most High. Right? It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. And enough people will take that serpent juice, you know, see where then basically pay the piper right now, you know, suffer the consequences of taking the serpent juice. You know, some of them dead, some of them mess up their immune system, you know, some of them sick out, right? They are dead right now, right, for taking the serpent juice, right? You know, because you should tell you clearly, you shall never trust your enemy. You know, verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So there's going to be a great insurrection, you know, right? Military are moving, stormtroopers, you know, military literally going to come in, you know, Gurger troops, different terms given unto the military, you know, in different areas, countries or states, you know, when they move in, what will you do? Or will you save yourself? You know, or how will you be saved? Right? It says, verse 71, it says, they shall be like mad men, spirit none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So you're going to start draw people out of them house, get them to concentration camp. People going to start getting locked up for basically, um, well, we know them going to charge you with some sedition, you know, talk against them tyranny, but I wish them well. And I was being sarcastic when I said that, of course, for them. Let me see. Verse 73, he said, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Right? So you're going to be known at that point, you know, who is with the Most High and who is not. You know, because people going to have tough chat, you know, until that time, you know, until them basically, well, reality kick in. You know, them will see the kind. Like for instance, when this inoculation thing they come in at first, a lot of people were saying, oh, me not take it on this and that, you know, this me not take it. Until they see them job. Until they see them job, about to get lost. So well, I don't really trust it still, but I don't can't lose my job. And me need to fly. You know, but yo, in idea, yo, the elect will stand strong, you know, because regardless, the evil for life, upon the line, skip it, say what? The devil shall cast some of you into prison, be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. So regardless, you know, the elect, also in, you know, report to the elect, you not give a shit what Esau want to do. We don't fear what man shall do unto us. You know, do your best, nigga. Right? So then shall they be known who am I chosen, and a part of the chosen being known as well is where the Most High go act on behalf of his elect. Because the Most High is our defense, that's the point. You know, because we of ourselves can't do nothing. We are scripture for us about worm. You know, and the time for people know that, so them literally can't defend themselves. This is Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So when the enemy come in against us, you know, we're calling upon the Most High, you know, to deliver us, you know. When we go to Psalms 91. Psalms 91, we start at 1, he say, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, and the secret place of the Most High is truth. I mean, this wisdom. You know, we can know his name, call upon him for help. You know, the key part of it, because Scripture say, he that call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. He said, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And the fowler, you know, right now is a so-called white race. You know, they might the trap setter. Yeah. He said, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the horror that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample on the foot. Because he had set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he had known my name. Name is important. They say, he shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him, and show him my salvation. So the Most High will be our salvation. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's the only way we will make it. It's not of ourselves. So when we go back to 2nd Ezra 16, and verse 74, it says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, say the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, say the Lord, Yahweh. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves." Says about the Most High protecting us, right? Not we I will put now take up harms in ourselves. The scripture tell you when you go to, let me see something. Acts. See Acts again. See if we can do. Remember the specific. Rose up. So I remember my name now. Theodos or something like that. Crap. Aha. Found it. Alright, so I'm going to start at verse Acts chapter 5 and 35. It said, "And said unto," I'm going to start at 34 just to get the point. It says, "Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee, named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, and he said, had in reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed." So this man I give the history. People who take things in their hands physically, or things even can rebel against the powers that be. Right? The scripture tells us, "Oh, warfare not carnal." So there's no physical uprising against the society, in this current state. Right? Waiting on Yahweh Shai. When you go to let me see. Go to Psalms 124 and 1. It's a song of degrees of David. "If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, no, may Israel say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us, and stream had gone over our soul." So it's about the Most High's protection, not we of ourselves. It's where say what? "Wait ye upon me until I rise up to the prey." So it's not about we getting matters in our own hands. Right now we preach the word. We won't get charged with sedition, of course. And when I say bow down and take them job and take them something there, them MOTB, or saying, trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. He will deliver. If the Most High is not your protection, you will not be defended. Because he's the only way out. He's the only answer. We for ourselves you can do nothing. So it will behoove you people. I'm going to close with this. Zephaniah 2. It says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce hunger of the Lord cometh upon you, before the day of the Lord's hunger come upon you, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which of wrath is judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's hunger. Kind of idea, yo. The so-called white man I can do the most I work, you know. Right, the so-called white man I act off him. When the so-called white man's a damn puppet, you know. I work for the most I, not knowingly, you know. So basically if you fear the most I, yo, you know, and the most I, you know, will basically protect you in the time that's coming. But if you not choose that protection, you know, it's keep tell about them who go to Egypt, you know, for them protection and stay there on. But keep say, oh, he's the man that trusts in Egypt, you know, basically it's like, you know, it's basically gonna stick you in your hand, which ultimately they might get stick in your hand already, you know. But ultimately it's the chipping and in destruction, you know, right? So that's lesson still, you know, just hearing people been talking about, oh yes, revolution will come, you know, I'm not take this, I'm not take that. That's all good, you know, because indeed there's a revolution coming, and indeed you're not supposed to take the dirty water from east, or definitely not the MOTB. You know, Mark of the Beast, try the fucking video, make it straight, you know. But you know, you have to seek your how about Shem Yahushua, you have to please him, you know, for defended in those days. You know, Psalms, Isaiah 65 verse 12 on down, this is the Most High servant shall eat, but the rest shall be hungry and so forth. You know, so you have to depend on the Most High, you have to protect you. You have to be protected, otherwise you get fucked out there. You know, so that's the lesson we produce. Head for until you out there, giving our praise to our power, how about Shem Yahushua, about Shem Kodash. Double honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the full, like, shalom.